Well, it's about this whole Venezuela thing. And before, like in the past few months, most people hadn't even heard of Venezuela. I knew we had a hard-on about Syria and Iran. Then all of a sudden, Venezuela is supposed to be this huge crisis. Anyway, little Marco Rubio tweeted this. Yeah, and this is Gaddafi on the left side when he was in power, happy. And on the right side, I guess Marco Rubio Browse's best score. And this is when he was being basically tortured. His shirt's full of blood, his face is bloody, and he literally was sodomized to death. They put a bayonet up his butt and killed him. And that fat brown guy next to him is laughing. I just don't care. I don't really care, and maybe I should. I know why Rubio's doing this. He's doing this as a threat to the leader in Venezuela, Maduro. I don't even know his name. Why the hell should I care who the leader of Venezuela is? Venezuela is like all those countries down there. They're basically what we used to call banana republics, where you get, you kind of had democracy, but you get like a strongman in power, and there's a lot of corruption. And then after a few years, there's Viva la Revolution! And then you get a new strongman in. That's the cycle. Whatever. That's how they do it. They seem to be happy with that. Just let them be. Let them do whatever they do down there. But no, we always have to meddle into everything. And I think part of it is we used to, as Europeans or white people, we would meddle through evangelizing like Christianity, sending missionaries and try to build people up and give them civilization, because we're like, oh my God, you see how they live here in Africa? Oh my God, how savage they are. We got to give them Christianity. We got to clothe them. Oh, they're all naked and they die so soon. We got to get them medicine. And so it was from a good place, but it really caused a lot of bad consequences. And now we don't have Christianity anymore, but we still have this impulse, or our politicians do anyway, to like export our values. And now our values are, I guess, that men should that stick their penis in each other's anus, they should be able to get married. That's a huge one of our values. That's one of the reasons we're threatening Iran. I'm not kidding, they said that. And Venezuela, because I guess if you do that in Venezuela, you can't get married, and that's a travesty. And I don't care. See, if they don't want men to get married to each other, it's none of my business. And then I know a lot of people like, oh, but it's a socialist system. Socialism is so bad. And guys, I mean, come on. It's not binary. It's not capitalism or socialism. I mean, hell, in the United States, 36% estimated of our GDP is because of government spending. It's probably higher. So, little Susie, who works in a private citizen and let's say Lockheed Martin, oh, I don't like the government spending, but her whole job is based on like defense contracts, and so she could do her PowerPoint presentations. So, I mean, we're really mixed in our country too. I mean, we don't really have much of a welfare state for most people, but it's a mixed economy. It's just a continuum. I guess all countries do. And I'm not defending Venezuela's system. I'm sure it's corrupt. They do have private businesses, and I'm sure the government is corrupt with the businesses, just like Mexico. What do you think Mexico is? That's how Mexico is. That's how all those countries are down there. Whatever, that's who they are, just leave them alone. But all of a sudden we have this burr up our ass that we need to have regime change and we need to free the people and liberate them. I'm like, no, stop them. Because whenever we liberate one of these countries, we get a whole shitload of refugees into our country. In the case with Gaddafi, he said, hey, you don't want to overthrow me because I'm the only one keeping all these black Africans from pouring into Europe. I tell you, you don't want that, Europe. We killed them, and then guess what's happening now? And Europe is being enriched. So these things just end up backfiring. We don't need to get involved with this. And I'm not defending the dictator, the leader, whatever the hell you want to call him, of Venezuela. I probably don't like him. And I really want to care if he should be overthrown and sodomized to death. I want to care. Maybe I should care. I'm not rooting for it like little Rubio is. I just don't care. But I want to care if that happened to Rubio. Again, I'm not advocating it. If it should happen to him, I don't really care. I mean, they're both politicians and it doesn't involve me. And that should be our attitude as Americans. That was George Washington's message. We just need to take care of America. We can't get involved with all these other countries trying to export our values of democracy and anal sex or whatever we're trying to export now. No, we need to mind our own business and let these countries do whatever. And if they should happen to be poor, yeah, well, that's sad, but I don't really care.
That's a death threat to the democratically elected leader of a country. I find this vile and disgusting, especially coming from someone on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. That's his damn job, foreign relations. This is what he puts out. It is absolutely disgusting.
I'm a talk show host, and even I knew the caliphate was real. And for him to say that, yes, I'm going to vote and throw Gaddafi out, that was throwing gasoline on an already burning fire. Just foolish, just foolish.
As a Christian and a conservative myself, I could not be any more disgusted with this psychopath or sociopath or whatever he is, Marco Rubio, obviously sending the leader of Venezuela a message with this disgusting, unchristian, this guy who tweets verses from the Bible. He might as well start quoting from the Talmud. You would make Hillary Clinton, the cackling demon, happy. Remember this?
I mean, that is the land of unconfirmed videos.
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
Did it have anything to do with your visit?
No, oh, I'm sure it did. They're going to be captured or killed.
Democratic Jewish state between Israel and the United States.
The desert is blooming again.
Yeah, that's the kind of person that this so-called faux-servative, neoconservative, neocon, progressive, Bolshevik scumbag. These are the people that are in power. And our elections here are a joke. They're a joke. And we're muscling into other sovereign nations around the world and telling them what to do, bringing democracy to all these countries that we shouldn't even be in. We're there defending big corporate interests, special interests for these political prostitutes that somehow make the salaries that they make, but somehow end up retiring multimillionaires. How does that happen? Wonder how that happens. The most valuable substance in the world. That's right, water. And this guy, what happened when NATO came in after Gaddafi was killed? They literally bombed the freshwater project in Libya. So if this was about getting Gaddafi out, okay, all right. So why did NATO have to bomb a water project with depleted uranium, poisoning everything that had been done? I really want to, I would like for one of these faux-servatives, I can't even call myself a conservative anymore. I'm just completely divorced the party, because if this is what it's about, this isn't what I'm about. It was the Zionist lobby and people like Rubio that he had a problem with, which is no big surprise that Rubio should make his target against this man. From WikiLeaks. Because nothing says human rights like gloating over a human being getting sodomized to death with a bayonet. More comments. Ben Norton. NATO worked with al-Qaeda-aligned extremists to overthrow the once prosperous oil-rich nation of Libya and turn it into a failed state with open-air slave markets. That's something that the mainstream media won't tell you about. So Rubio is now threatening Venezuela with the same death and destruction. That's what this tweet was really about. What Gaddafi felt was that the oil that was underneath Libyans' feet belonged to them. That was their property. So each person had an interest in that property, so that they should benefit from that property. And Rubio, what an absolute degenerate scumbag, piece of human garbage. So this is what the modern day Republican Party is putting up as their poster boy. You know, I'm really glad that my grandparents aren't alive to see this. What an absolute disgusting piece of garbage. Marco Rubio, if you were on fire, I wouldn't piss on you to put you out. And that may not be very Christian, but you know what? I wouldn't piss on Satan either to put him out. You sick, twisted bastard. Burn in hell. That's where you belong.